Despite its profile as the second largest film industry in the world, Nollywood still has a funding gap of over 200 billion naira to reach its full potential and unlock more economic opportunities. Understanding this gap and the value of venture capital funding for high growth sectors, Utica Capital Limited hosted a stakeholder briefing on its pace setting Utica Film Fund. The fund is the first licensed venture capital fund that is targeted at the Nigerian film industry. The managing director and chief executive of Utica Capital Limited, Mr. Ola Belgore, in his presentation, gave an overview of the fund, its objectives, prospects, and the impact on the film industry and creative economy.
An overview of the fund. It's a 20 billion fund, the full size of the fund. But today, we're opening the first one, the first tranche of the fund, which is 5 billion. It's rated A minus. For institutional investors, the minimum investment is 10 million, but for institutional investors, we expect them to do a minimum of 100 million. This fund, why it is for the market generally, is for the Nigeria economy, and we'll talk about all the impact it would have on the economy. Unfortunately, or maybe it's fortunate, it is designed only for qualified investors. That's people who understand the need for long-term investing and the value that brings, not investors that will bring in their 10 million today and next week they need the money back, because the project we want to fund need a bit of time to come to life. So it's for what is called qualified investors, and you must have minimum of 10 million naira to invest in it. The benefit, of course, it gives diversification, especially for institutional investors, the asset managers, insurance company, pension funds. This is opportunity to diversify against your traditional asset classes. Of course, there is also liquidity within the fund. Even though it's a venture capital, we've structured it such that from year 2, there's going to be some distribution from the fund. Social responsibility investing is a key element of the fund. And of course, the fund has good return. So when we talk about impact, we're not necessarily talking about doing good for the society, but you're also mindful of getting profit, but you're mindful of the people and, of course, profit. So this gives you a lot of opportunity to look at those 3 Ps.
Some of the market stakeholders, regulators, and creative industry practitioners shared their perspectives on how the fund can catalyze the global competitiveness of the Nollywood industry.
This fund, as innovative as it is, structured as a venture capital fund, which is actually targeted at, if you look at the presentation by the MD, shows that actually startups, because there are new ideas, great ideas you bring in, and of course it will be reviewed, and it's a good team for the advisory team who also look at it. But then there is another risk on that part, which I asked the chairman, which the investment committee will also have to check, and the trustee, which is the risk around conflict of interest, because some of the names are big in the industry. And it's important that as they are advising, they are not misleading the fund to invest in areas that they have conflicts. So for the commission at this point, what is important is post-registration requirements, which the fund will have to comply with. And for as much as the commission is so innovative driven, we also don't want to joke with compliance issues. It's a good thing it's an institutional fund, because those risks that arise with funds like this are not meant for retail. So as the commission, I only just to say, yeah, we've approved and we'll monitor the fund effectively.
The idea of an innovative fund that caters to helping filmmakers bring ideas to life with the right safeguards on the business side is extremely important. Like you rightly mentioned, creatives, a lot of us are not business savvy. So we need people to be able to guide us to understand how to make sure that it's not just creativity, it's also a business. We have to be able to make money, and people are putting money down and they have to get their money back. So for me, I'm super excited about the possibilities of this fund, and hoping that we can truly take Nollywood and Nigerian filmmaking to where it needs to be on the global stage, bigger than what it is now. Thank you very much.
The chairman of Utica Capital Limited, Dr. Adeshagun Akin Olugbade, speaks on the value of the fund to the development of the financial market, film industry, and economy at large.
The creative industry, I believe in 2022, was close to about $5.4 billion. But more importantly, it was the second largest employer in the country. The government is now targeting a $1 trillion economy, and it is expected that the creative industry would grow to about $100 billion. Now, the film industry is a subsect of the creative industry. And as we've said throughout this event or ceremony, the film industry is currently underfunded, even though it's very prolific. So the intention is to use this fund as a catalyst for growing the film industry, or scaling it, if I use the financial expression. So we're hoping that a significant portion of that 100 billion growth that is expected in value would be attributed from the film industry. And Utica, being the pioneer with this fund, would help in providing funding to grow that sector.
The 20 billion naira closed-ended Utica Film Fund licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, which has been launched with the first tranche of the 5 billion naira Series 1, presents an opportunity for high net worth individuals and institutional investors to diversify their investments with commensurate return on investments on the long term. It provides a veritable platform to invest in the growth, transformation, and accelerated development of Nigeria's film industry. This will translate to jobs, the strengthening of the film industry value chain, and more high gross earning movies that positively shape the narrative of Nigeria and Africa.